welcome to another episode of It Builds Character. Let me know, first of all, how the audio sounds. Is the music out shouting me? Because I don't know off the top of my head, so I need your guys' insight on that. To answer the question about Castiel, yes, Castiel is an angel. To give you some insight about Supernatural and me, do I sound like I need to... Okay, audio is good? Cool. Alright, so, first of all, this is It Builds Character. This is a weekly character building show where I build characters from pop culture, comics, movies, etc. that you guys... you can't even hear the music. Interesting. Well, it's there. I promise you. I think I set up ducking, though, so if I'm talking, it should go down. We'll crank the music a little bit. So, anyway, this is a weekly character building show where I build characters from pop culture. This week I'm building Castiel from Supernatural. Little mechanics behind what I do. I build only using standard array. So that is using 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8 as the stats. I try to build all the characters with special exceptions at level 12. And I try to build them only using official material. When I use official material, so I mean things that are published in a physical hard copy book that we have our hands on, or in Unearthed Arcana playtest material. I try not to homebrew, although most of the homebrewing that I do does seem to come into magic items, as a lot of the characters that we work on have very wonky, very specific, and almost necessary magic items in a lot of cases. So to answer you guys' questions about Supernatural and me, I watched the first season of Supernatural, probably one of the best seasons of a show out there. It's a really good show. And then it just, in my mind, like, second season's okay, and then it just starts to tank after that. I stopped 10 episodes into the 5th season. I believe it's on season 13 at the moment. So I only have a very introductory knowledge of Castiel, and I know that he goes from... Castiel is an angel, at least when you first meet him. In a traditional and a Christian world with a god, angel, that kind of a way. And he goes from angel to completely normal, mortal man. I think at one point he's basically God or a god. So the show goes all over the place. So I'm going to build the Castiel that I know, which is Season 4 Castiel, where he is an angel. And that's the one I'm going to go with, because that's the one I know. And as we've seen when I build anime characters, you really have to choose a point in time, because if you don't choose a point in time, you just sometimes you can't just build these characters, because if they've been on a show that runs for multiple seasons, there's ups and downs, and they just acquire so much stuff or powers and abilities that you just can't keep up, and they just won't work in a Dungeons and Dragons setting. So that's out of the way now. I got that out of front. I'm gonna have some coffee right now, and we're going to go into this. Speaking of, though, I do want to say, there's a panel below the Twitch window, and I will put I have to build a command, but we announced it last night officially, but Nerd Immersion is very proud to announce that we are being officially sponsored by Initiative Coffee Company. So Initiative Coffee Company is a new upstart coffee company. They're internet-based, so you can go and pick up you can go to initiativecoffee.com and pick up the coffee if you want. The blend their primary blend, the one that I'm drinking right now, is called Improved Initiative. It's pretty awesome. If you use the coupon code, it's $2 immersion, you guys can get $2 off of your order. It's very good coffee. They are in the process of developing a light roast at the moment as well. That'll be out soon. So yeah, we're huge fans here at Nerd Immersion. Me and all the team are big fans of this coffee, so I just wanted to shout that out to you guys, and they're gracious enough to keep us caffeinated so we can keep making shows and content for you guys. So Again, there's a Twitch panel below the Twitch window. You can see that. I will put a chat command in. I just didn't get a chance to do that. But I don't want to belabor this with... Yes, early Castiel was pretty awkward when it came to understanding and acting human. Yes and no. If we're building him... So let me talk a little bit about my concept on Castiel, right? So if we're going to build Castiel as he is in Supernatural, we don't even really build him. We just treat him as the Deva monster from the Monster Manual, and that is Castiel done. Like, that's how I would say if you're going to run Castiel as a non-player character, you run him as a Deva under the Monster Manual, and that's it. That's Castiel. You're done. However, that's not the case because we're trying to build him as a player character. So the closest thing we have to an angel is an Aasimar, so we're going to go with that. And then it's kind of tricky to put a class around him. Right? He's clearly strong, he's clearly powerful, but he's not, he's not a barbarian, he's not a bard. So I'm with Paladin because it just makes sense in my brain, an Aasimar Paladin to represent an angel of Christian heaven, I think. Again, maybe this is more of a Michael kind of a scenario, right? Paladin, but I feel like they're all Paladins, and really, like, if you're looking at it this way, Michael would be like a level 20 versus Castiel's level 12 in this scenario. So to be an effective Paladin, he needs to have a decent strength, which we do see in the show, that he is fairly physically strong. And he is relatively hardy as well. And I see your point about understanding and acting human, so he's not charisma the best, although charisma is your paladin spellcasting ability. So I may give him a decent charisma, but not give him like any charisma-based skills. Like definitely no persuasion. It's an interesting scenario when you look at intelligence too, right? Like, is he intelligent? I mean, in a grander scheme of things, he is, because he's got sort of a omnipotence to him as a greater being. But I don't know. Yeah, he was pretty gullible. Let's go with that. All right, so let's make the 8 in wisdom. I'm on board with that. We'll go 10, 12. And we've got, so we're going to go with an Aasimar. We're going to make this 14. Let's see. 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 8. So that's where we're at stat-wise. So let's jump over to Volo's Guide to Monsters to grab our Aasimar. So we have +2 charisma, so that puts us here at 16. We might not go any higher than 16 on that. So he's gonna get 30 feet. He's gonna get dark vision of 60 feet. Resistance to, what is that called? Celestial resistance. Celestial resistance. Resistance to radiant and necrotic damage. Healing hands. Action. Heal creature for. Wow, typing is not my strong suit today. Character level HP. And then, oh, the light cantrip. And common and celestial. I don't actually care too much about the languages here, so I think we're probably going to go with protect. He's not clearly, I mean, you could argue he becomes a fallen Aasimar at points if you're going with that as the angel equivalent. He's not really a Scourge Aasimar. So we're going to go with a Protector Aasimar. So this is going to go to 9. And that will give him, what is this ability called? Radiant Soul. Radiant Soul. Action. Sprout. Ethereal. Angel Wings with 30-foot fly speed. Once per turn. Deal an additional amount radiant damage equal to your character level. Cool. So, we got that. I'm going to call him a soldier, as angels were soldiers of heaven, and they kind of allude to that quite a bit, so I think that that makes sense. I'm willing to take arguments against that as the background, though, if people think that there is a better option. So that's athletics and intimidation. He's not very intimidating, although he does intimidate some people at like a point. And like very early on, when they just show like the wings, when there's like the lightning strike, when he's first talking to Sam and Dean. And for those of you who are curious, I think this is going to be without significant input from folks in the chat, which I'm not forcing or you know, encouraging one way or another you guys to. I always encourage participation, but if I'm going unchecked on this one, this is probably going to be a pretty quick video, I'm going to say, which is fine by me. Get to have more of my Initiative Coffee Company coffee. Alright, so the way they did it is similar, but they've fallen Aasimar, it's necrotic damage that you're dealing, and it's a fear effect. And I'm going to say that at least early Castiel was not really, he wasn't fallen, and he's more of the protectory type than the spooky with, you know, necrotic damage. So I'm going to give him medicine proficiency, and he already has athletics. And he's not, we already said he's gullible, so we're not going to give him insight. We'll give him religion. Makes sense, right? He's an angel. Okay. So then at level 1, he's going to get Divine Sense. Action. See all Fiend, Celestial, and Undead within 60 feet. This is 1 plus Shaman times per day. Lay on. Necrotic Angel sounds like the name of a heavy metal band. I'd agree with that. I'd go see Necrotic Angel. That also makes me think of Chris Angel. I don't know why. Totally unrelated, but it makes me think of Chris Angel. And that makes me think of Weird Street Magic. Alrighty. 60 points of lay on hands. Then we're going to get fighting style. We're going to give cast protection. Even though he doesn't really wield a shield and a sword, at least in the Supernatural that I saw, I'm going to argue that his fighting, he's still more of a protectory type than a physical onslaught. Like, I don't think he would have dueling. I don't think he'd have Great Weapon Master. He doesn't really wear armor, so I would argue against defensive, or defense. So I'm going to say protection. Reaction to cause this advantage on an attack against someone within 5 feet. And we're also going to get Divine Smite. On a melee hit. And 1d8 plus 1d8 per spell level in radiant damage. Additional 1d8 against fiends and undead. Okay. Alright, Tony, if you're saying that you think of dueling, I'll go with dueling. I'm down with that. Let's just go ahead and divine health. Immune to disease. Okay. Well, you sold me. You argued for dueling. Dueling. +2 damage. To. Excuse me. One-handed melee attacks. Alright. So, now we gotta choose his type of paladin. I feel like I don't think I'll be in the minority if I choose devotion. Oath of devotion. Courage, compassion, honor, duty, honesty. At least, again, in the beginning, early Castiel, I feel like that's pretty accurate. So that gives us channel divinity. What is it called? Sacred weapon. Sacred weapon. Action. For 1 minute. Your weapon gets something. Bonus to attack rolls. You and your trauma to attack rolls. Weapon is also considered magical. I think that's everything for that one. Oh, and it sheds dim light. It sheds 20 feet. Dim light another 20 feet. So we have turn undead, right? Turn the unholy, sorry. Turn the unholy. Action to present holy symbol. Fiend and undead. What's that?
No.
Okay. Okay, cool. So all fiends and undead. Repeat. What? Oh, yeah. Wisdom save or be frightened? Or be turned. Okay, or be turned for 1 minute. And then we do have our channel. The hardest part that makes it, for at least for this, for paladins, or really for any spellcasters, we're gonna have to deal with all the spells. So protection from evil and good. That's a domain. Then they also get sanctuary. We'll just do the domain spells while we're here. Lesser restoration and zone of truth. Lesser restoration. Okay. And then here, Beacon of Hope, Dispel Magic. Beacon of Hope. Domain. Dispel Magic. charisma. Alright, so let's go back. So we're at our first ability score improvement. So let's go ahead and make our strength 16 and our con 14. So put that here, ability score improvements. +1 strength, +1 con. That's for level 4. Let's think. We got 2 more while we're here. We got 8 and 12. 2 more ability score improvements. We could raise his wisdom. We argue that he is a little bit on the gullible side, so that's why the wisdom is so low. We could give him a stat that gives him a +1 to wisdom. Something along the lines of like observant. You know, at least for... You can still be gullible, but still be aware of your surroundings. And so things can't sneak up on you. Of that nature. We could... we could just pump it into stats. Put maybe charisma at 18 or strength at 18 or both. Put Constitution at 16. I'm curious to see what you guys think, so let me know, and we'll go from there. I'll start filling out some other stuff while I'm here. Actually, I don't know if I can fill anything else out. Observant? Okay. Observant. +1 wins. Okay, so then we'll make this a 10. We still have 1 more for level 12. I'll keep going here. Extra attack. Aura. Protection. And trauma to saving throws. Aura of devotion. Thank you, Echo the Winds, for the follow there. Saw that. I think that sound effect got outshadowed by the music, but that's okay. Thank you for the follow. Well, is it 10-foot radius? Are immune to charm. Alright, did you get anything else? I forget. Yeah, alright, it is up till 10. Cool. So, 10. Aura of courage? Courage. Are immune to fear. Then we've got improved divine smite. All melee attacks add an additional 1d8 radiant damage. He doesn't have... We didn't do any heal spells yet, but he currently has 60 points of lay on hands, which I feel is the most angelic version of healing. And I believe in one episode, Bobby even says, "Lay your hands on me." And we also have healing hands, his Azimar racial ability. So at the current, with 2 actions, he could heal any individual person for 72 points of damage if he wanted to. But we do still have access to, and healing spells. We'll probably add some in later as well. So, I'm just gonna make charisma plus 2. So we're gonna make this 18. It's 18. This is a 4, 0, 0, 2, 1, 3. So this strength is a 7. Dex is a 5. Con is a 6. Intelligence is a 4. Wisdom is an 8. And charisma is a 12. Alright, let's do these now. 1, 0, 0, 7, 4, 0, 0. What's this? 8, 0, 4, 0, 0, 4, 4, 4, 1, 1, 0, and his passive is 15. Okay. And then it's got 12d8. 12. Hit points is 8 times 11 is 88. And 10 is 98. Initiative is 1. Alright, we'll come back because we still have to figure out armor class. And we gotta figure out weapon damage and things of that nature, and if there's any magic items peppered in the mix. But for the moment, I feel like this is pretty angelic, right guys? So we can see in the dark, we are resistant to necrotic, which we'll call the evil version of radiant damage, but also our own radiant damage. We can heal people, we can sprout and angel wings and fly, deal extra radiant damage when we need to bring down the wrath. We can sense other undead and devils and things. We can also sense other angels. We can lay on hands for heal. We have dueling, fighting style for our angel blade wielding. We have divine smite, things that angels do to bring extra damage. We are immune to disease. We have the ability to make our weapons sacred and having a bonus to attack rolls, or we can turn the unholy. Fiends and undead can be pushed away from us. 2 attacks. All allies, including ourselves within 10 feet, add a +4 to all their saving throws. They are also immune to charm effects and fear effects. And we're so suffused with divine energy that when we strike out, we deal an extra d8 radiant damage no matter what, because we're so suffused with our divine energy. We are also observant, so we're a little bit better at passively perceiving things. And we haven't even touched on spells yet. So when we look at spells, right now we have light as a racial cantrip, and then our oath spells that we get no matter what. I put domain, it should be oath. I'm dumb. I'm just too used to playing clerics. So, we have protection from good and evil. We have sanctuary, again, very devotion-y, angel-y. We have lesser restoration. We have zone of truth. Nobody's lying to us, or at least we'll know if they are. Beacon of hope. And dispel magic. So, our spell save DC at this juncture will be 4, and 4 is 8, and 8 is 16. This will be 8, even though it will almost never come to play. And we can prepare with a 4 and a 12, a total of 10 paladin spells from levels 1 to 3. In addition to those spells. And we'll see how many we get at this point. Is it 4, 3, 3? 12, 4, 3, 3. So 4, 3, 3. We already said we're probably going to give him Cure Wounds. And we'll probably give him Bless. Stick with the angel theme here. Let's pull up some paladin spells. Bear with me, I'm doing this on my phone just because it's easier. I think we could probably give a angel ceremony, even though I would never recommend a paladin take ceremony. We can also go with detect magic. Okay. So, that is... So we only had 10? That's 4 at first level. Let's just pop over to second real quick and see what we got. Honestly, we got Lesser Restoration and Zone of Truth. The only one I'll add... No, that's probably... That's about what I would say for second level. Let's jump to third. Let's see what we've got over there. Okay. So I'm gonna say... Okay, we're Revivify, right? We gotta have some resurrection magic. Revivify. We'll go with... Create food and water. Daylight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there any other second level spells? I mean, the 2 second level spells I always prepare are Lesser Restoration, Zone of Truth when I play Paladin. The only one I prepare separate from that is Fine Steed, but he doesn't really have a horse or something that he rides around on. And I mean, you can't really call Baby a steed, and that's really more Dean's than anybody else's. So, alright, we're going back to first level. See what else we got at first level. I think we can throw in Shield of Faith, right? Makes sense for an angel to have a Shield of Faith. Also, Purify Food and Drink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We still got one more. Oh man, Modern Magic on Arthurcana, you're going... Maybe. I haven't checked the Modern Magic on Arthurcana in so long because I haven't really... Most of the characters I build that are more modern, I've been able to still relatively easily slot into just the current edition of D&D. I forgot about Modern Magic existed, to be honest with you. But if anything, he's more of an old school guy anyway, because he's an angel. So, 1, 2, 3, 6. We got 9 right now. Because I'm going to say that it's not necessary that you go grab Modern Magic to build a character when we're this close to the end. I'd say it definitely could be peppered in. It's worth looking into potentially for some of the other things we built, like we built Ghost Rider without it, for example. No, I think I'm just gonna go with straight up Divine Favor. Or, you know, yeah. So, we've got some pretty angelic spells going on here. The only question that I leave you guys with is what do we do? What do we do with armor, you know, as far as paladins could not get Call Lightning. None of them can, I don't believe. Yeah, none of them can. What do we think about armor class? Right? Because he wears a trench coat. Like, so he has access to all armor as well as shields and all weapons. And we're arguing that he has the Angel Blade, but are we saying that this is particularly magical sword, as in it represents or it emulates an existing sword in somewhere within the existing Dungeon Master's Guide, and then we'll just go from there. Tie of protection +3. Yeah. Let me go to my documents folder and we'll pull up in the Dungeon Master's Guide. I feel like we mentioned this Angel Blade, which I honestly am having very fuzzy memories of. Based on what I recall of it, should that just be a Holy Avenger? Like, does that make sense? Does everybody agree with that? And that's a pretty good spot to be in as a paladin. Your dream should be your dream if you're a paladin to get the Holy Avenger. +3 to attack and damage. Does an extra 2d10 to fiends and undead. And then it sheds light. It also gives you and all allies advantage on saving throws against spells and magic effects. Okay, we can make it a short sword, that's fine. So, Angel Blade, Holy Avenger, short sword. So that's +2d10 versus fiends and undead. All allies in a 10-foot radius have advantage on saving throws versus spells and magical effects. So this would be to attack would be 10 to attack, and we do 1d6 plus 8 plus 1d8 plus 8. Devotion, Paladin. So if we go with that, the Angel Blade starts at a +10 to hit for the roll. Does the d6 damage, plus a d8 from improved Divine Smite, plus a static 8 damage, plus 2d10 extra if it's a fiend or an undead. That's not including any smiting that he does on top of that to add extra damage, or extra damage from Radiant Soul if that's active at the same time. Alright, there we go. So, we're going to say that the trench coat and tie acts like mithril plate mail. So it's an AC of 18, but doesn't give him disadvantage on stealth checks. So, that's relatively lightweight. I think we're good, guys. I think we did it. And we just did our recap a little bit ago. And all we did was add the Angel Blade in his trench coat / tie here. So he's got immunity to a whole bunch of stuff. Resistances to damages. I think we're good. So, thank you again, folks in the chat, for hanging out with me and helping me build Castiel from Supernatural. I greatly appreciate it. And I just wanted to thank you all so much for coming out and hanging out. So let's go ahead over here and we'll go take a look at what we've got going on as far as things to come. So, first of all, I need to update this because we already built Hal from Hell's Moving Castle. We built Kim Possible. We built the 10th Doctor. We built Castiel just now. So next up is Dream from the Sandman Chronicles. followed by Flapjack, and so on and so forth down this list, all the way until the 21st of November. This is when we're currently building to, with the people we have stored currently. So that is that. By the way, if you guys don't know, you can go and pick up any of the character sheets. I do have a folder on the Google Drive. Yeah, a lot of emergencies at work when you work in the utility industry, and you get hurricanes, tornadoes, and winter storms. So that's what happens. Yeah, we've had 6 years without any real events here in the Northeast since Hurricane Sandy. And then we just got slammed this past year, where I was doing 14-hour shifts, 14 days nonstop. So it's been pretty nuts. Yeah, that's it, pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for coming out to check out the show. So come back next week for sure to catch up to see when I build Dream from Sandman Chronicles. A couple of things that you guys may have missed, things that have been done, is next week we would normally on Tuesday night be doing my Everend campaign, which is my homebrew campaign at the table behind me that I made. It's all in the homebrew world. Due to Celine being going away for basically the month of July, we swapped. So next Tuesday is actually going to be Evil Game, so that we can get her in to hopefully finish out the current spot we're in Evil Game, to get her input on that, so that when we go to play at the future time, we can kind of just write her into the background. Oh, Percy Jackson, done. 100%. Percy Jackson is one of my favorite book series, so absolutely. The only thing I will say that may break this order is when Castlevania, the Netflix Castlevania Season 2 comes out, I may go back and revisit other Castlevania characters. Castlevania is what started this whole series off with Trevor Belmont way back on my birthday last year. So if Castlevania Season 2 comes out before my birthday, I may jump in and do it again. Thank you, TL, for watching Everett. Yeah, it's been super fun. It was a little slow going at the start. I will admit myself. I was still kind of, even though I've been DMing and streaming for you guys for a long time, when it's something that you've worked on for so long, and you all of a sudden, as you start going through it, you start having like, oh shit, I didn't think of this. And you start having those moments where you have to start trying to come up with everything ever. So it just, little things pop up here and there that you hadn't thought of. Thank you, Jordan. Hello. Yes, that was actually that was a suggestion from Brittany from the Venture Maidens. It was her suggestion. Also was Flapjack. So that's fun. But anyway, it will not be Everin next Tuesday. It will be Evil Campaign. So I will put out the previous Evil Campaign so you guys can catch up on what happened, as we are now on a train heist, essentially. So we'll have to come see how that plays out. Monday will be the resuming our Princess of the Apocalypse campaign. No, we never did Galactus. I think I vetoed Galactus because there's a degree. It's like I didn't do Thanos either. Like, there's a degree where it's just too much to try to build as a 12th level character. That's like we're in deity level stuff. I mean, you could argue that about some of the other characters I built, but still. Yeah, I don't think I have much else to say to you guys before I head off. Also, Jordan here is in the channel. You should go check out his YouTube. It's amazing. If you have any questions about Forgotten Realms related stuff, specifically the history of the Forgotten Realms, the deities, and now the factions of the realms, I would highly recommend that you go and watch all those videos. I binge watched all of them in a very quick succession, so so go ahead and check out his channel for sure. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to try to get some more one-shots going in the future. We have a couple situations where, some people aren't going to be making it, so we're going to try to roll into some more one-shots like we did with the Prince of the Apocalypse, the Bachelorette episode. But I will also predicate all of that we are in the process of moving So contracts and things are being signed and closing is being worked towards. We'll be leaving the house that you've seen me in this room that you've seen me in for the past 4 years on YouTube. I will be moving to a new house, so that's obviously there may be a little blip in the streams as we get internet set up at the new house and all of that stuff. So that's one little thing to just throw out there. And we did complete our Curse of Strahd campaign this past weekend, and the finale, the 5-hour finale of Curse of Strahd will be hitting YouTube probably tomorrow. So again, thank you so much, guys. Check in the description below for our awesome sponsor, Initiative Coffee Company, and their improved Initiative Coffee. There's coffee beans in here. They do sell it as whole bean, but you can ask them to grind it if you prefer. Smells so good. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.